And we're back with another episode of What's Hockey. As we do every week, we go around that hockey. Keaton, tell us what has happened over this past week.
Quite a few things. Trevor Zegras from the Ducks. He is out for around 6 weeks. He had surgery, torn meniscus in his right knee, so hopefully he'll get better at some point. It was the second period of the Golden Knights game on December 4th, so hopefully he comes back soon. But hopefully he takes his time because obviously the Ducks aren't really vying for a championship at least right now. So I mean, he can just rest easy, make sure that he comes back healthy rather than re-injure himself super soon. But yeah, in his midst, the Anaheim Ducks trade Jeremy hold on Biakapituka Biakapituka,
Sound it
is that
out.
it?
That's pretty good, though.
And second rounder in exchange for Cam Fowler and a fourth rounder in 2027 to the Blues. And Fowler pretty much immediately starts, I think, in the next game, like that same day. It's pretty crazy. Fowler unfortunately does not play for the Fowls anymore after 15 years.
Oh my
He actually
goodness.
was going to hit 1,000 games at some point this year, but the Ducks didn't care. So yeah, they shipped him over to St. Louis, and the Blues, like I said, they immediately started to use him.
Yeah, your
So
boy Jim Montgomery is trying to make some
Yakupatuka is a
moves.
prospect and will hopefully add future to the Ducks organization. So maybe in the next couple of years they actually do something pretty well. But yeah, oh well. Anaheim will retain 35.5% of Fowler's remaining salary of this year, and I think he'd be an unrestricted free agent, I believe, after this year anyway. So,
Yeah. So I
um,
mean that's
yeah,
that's basically just a move to again stock the farm system and prepare for the future at that point.
yeah, and adding veteran charm to the St. Louis Blues, of course, just to keep going. I will say Ovechkin has been seen practicing. I did not know if he traveled with the team. I don't think he did, but he's pretty much ready to play at some point, which is pretty ridiculous.
It's
Just
absurd.
basically maybe 5 weeks after. Um,
Dude,
I don't know.
that's
Either way,
literally
he's
not human.
he's
Like I
coming
know
back
his name.
strong.
Yeah.
Do you know if he came back?
No, he's not back yet. We played the Capitals last night, and
Did he
yeah,
travel with the
he was.
team? I don't know. I mean, he was
Uh,
potentially going to.
I don't
That was
think
pretty crazy.
they didn't mention it during the broadcast, so my guess would be not. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, dog.
Totally, totally.
All right. So also Keegan Colasar re-signed with the Golden Knights since I have to carry the fuck out of this podcast for a three
Oh
year seven
my!
point five million dollar
You asked me
contract.
one
The
question,
twenty
I just
seven
said
year
no.
old won
There's
the.
nothing to
No, I
add.
know, but there was like a huge lull, so I was just kind of sitting
That
there.
was
But
you.
yeah, it
You
was
should have
funny.
been moving on to the next part. Your next
You should
headline.
know something, boy. Don't you? All right. So yeah, he's re-signed with the Golden Knights. Pretty good, pretty good. They're a contender this year again, of course. The next up is Anthony Stolarz is day to day with a lower body injury, so the Maple Leafs have to basically look to Joseph Wall, the Wall, in this
Pretty good name
stretch.
for a goalie.
Hopefully he comes. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty good. But yeah, I will say he did let up 3 goals against the Red Wings,
Mm,
and we won
ooh.
4-2 against the Maple Leafs. We're pretty
Y'all are
good.
garbage, so I mean that's really
But
saying something.
yeah, I will say though, at least before that game, Stolars and Wall were like up there in the top five. I think. I don't know. They had some pretty good save percentage and goals against allowed. Pretty
That's
solid. But
fantastic.
either way, he'll come back at some point. New York Rangers defender Keandre Miller is headed to IR after suffering
Mm,
an upper body injury. Um,
dog.
it's
After
pretty
trading
grim because
Truba, that's
yeah,
rough.
yeah, they're not really doing so great. They've been 3-10 in their last 13 games.
Ugh.
Um, they only won against Montreal, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. So like those are some
The
pretty
cream of the
average
crop
at
there.
best teams, and yeah,
Jesus
after
Christ.
confirming Shusterkin's future, it's not looking so great for the
No.
Rangers.
I can tell you what that future
Over
looks
in
like. Bleak.
yeah, it's unfortunate because last year they were so good, but they
Yeah, no,
just
I completely
aren't.
agree. It's a steep drop off that truly came out of nowhere in my mind. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Unless they need to bring back Rempe and fire up the team by busting some mouths, I think
yeah,
they're kind of doomed, man.
some
I don't
big
know.
fights.
Yeah, yeah, start
I
swinging on
mean,
fools.
what was that? What was the Goon, that movie with?
I never saw it, but yeah, that's the movie
Yeah,
Goon. I think it was just Goon.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, it's
All
a
right.
pretty good movie. I think there was a second one, but yeah, it's not that great. But
Nice,
anyway, over up
nice.
in San Jose, Clem Costin's going to IR. Forward was injured against the Blues on Thursday for a 4-2 or yeah 4-3 win. Hopefully, the Sharks can get some production out of their AHL affiliates, as Costin is a pretty decent part of their system. But yeah,
That man also
hopefully,
averages like 4 hits a game, so like I don't think you're gonna be
yeah,
able to replace that. But I mean, maybe you get some solid, or hopefully for them, some okay
yeah.
production
I mean,
from whoever they call up.
some sort of future guy, the guy that
Yeah,
will be up there in the future.
yeah,
But
for
anyway,
sure,
we had
for
a
sure.
Stanley Cup rematch last night with the Panthers going up against Edmonton. Panthers won the game 6-5. It
All
was a
right.
pretty high scoring, crazy game, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, they have two matchups this year. They'll play again on February 27th. So who
Do you
knows?
know where that game was, by the way? I'm just
I
curious.
believe it was in Edmonton. Let
Okay,
me make
gotcha,
sure.
gotcha. Yeah, they
Yeah,
slacking on that one.
that is pretty trash. Hold on, let me take a look at one thing.
When I
All
know
right.
Stuart Skinner hasn't had a good year compared to what he was doing, especially in the postseason last year too.
Oh,
So,
dude, I don't know if you saw that tweet I sent you. There's like a video of him getting hit in the face, and there was a goal. I
oh
think it was
damn,
him at least. But
I didn't
yeah,
see it. My
he
fault. Yeah.
like Sam Reinhart just hit him in the face, and it bounced in. So it was pretty good.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
so yeah, Nathan McKinnon is the top points leaders. He's got 50, which is pretty ridiculous
Ooh.
already. Um, and what's
How
even
many?
more ridiculous,
Go ahead.
Mikko
Sorry.
Rantanen is at 47, tied for second. Same with Draisaitl and Kaprizov, and then Kucherov is right behind him at 46. So it's
Dude,
pretty crazy.
they've played 33 games. That's a wild pace. Like he's a star
Yeah,
and like I get it,
I
but
think there
dude,
was
that's
one
just
game he had either like 5 or 6 assists, and they scored like that many goals or whatever it was, and he's just involved in everything.
that'll definitely help
But
your
yeah,
average as well, but Jesus Christ.
yeah. Dreisaitl's got 23 goals atop those rankings. But yeah, up in Detroit, we took the 1-1 record like I predicted, but it was not the games I expected. The Flyers, we ended up letting, what was it, Scott Lofton, or whatever, Lofton. He scored 4 goals, all four of them.
Ah,
So Talbot was our goaltender, was not playing very well after I believe he came back. So um, just not great. We lost
mm,
4-1, and yeah, pretty bad. But up against the Maple Leafs, we started out nice with Jeff Petrie making a couple nice goals. It was pretty unexpected in my opinion. Uh, Austin Matthews had to get carted off the ice because he lost a blade and looked pretty pathetic because everybody is just like dragging him off the ice and he's just like kind of
Hey,
just
give me your
sitting there
Austin
waiting for him.
Matthews. Give me your Austin Matthews impression of when he introduced himself to the Nations League or whatever.
I think it's like, hey, it's me, Austin. But
Oh my
yeah,
god,
pretty bad. Uh,
so bad.
pretty weird. I mean, I do
All of those
like
were bad. You
Connor McDavid's. He's like, you guessed it, it's me, Connor McDavid. It's like nobody. They showed your
oh
face.
my god, it's like the
uh,
least. It's
yeah,
the whole every roster has no swag. I don't get it. Like, how is there
yeah,
like no like who is damn fuck, I'm blanking on his name. We just talked about him. Nathan McKinnon's was like so
yeah.
awkward too. My
I'm Nathan
goodness.
McKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche. And then
What is wrong with everyone in the
Rasmus
league?
Dahlin, he's just like, I'm Rasmus Dahlin of the Sabres. Yeah,
Goodness. The most average
pretty
dudes, the most
stiff.
average
Yeah.
athletes, very.
I'm glad they're doing well, but they need some potential PR adjustments, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
a
guess it
little bit of
doesn't really
training there.
matter
No, it
at the
matters.
end of
I
the
want
day.
to.
It's pretty funny. I mean, still.
Yeah.
But either way, we beat the Maple Leafs 4-2. Like I said, we got an empty netter from Lucas Raymond. Pretty sick. He's quite the star that we have on our dismal team. So yeah. Either way, we're going to go against four different games this week, so it's pretty action packed just before the holiday season. We play the Flyers up next on Wednesday, the Canadians on Friday and Saturday, which is quite ridiculous, and then the Blues on Monday. So uh, I honestly expect we're probably going to go 2-2
Mhm.
because uh, the first one is in Detroit, and then you go directly to Montreal the next day and play. I don't know. Uh, I wouldn't want to do that, but they're the trained athletes, so either way, they'll
I don't
probably
want to
take a
do
loss
that.
there. But yeah,
Yikes!
uh,
Y'all stink.
just before their Christmas holiday. They don't play on the Tuesday to Wednesday, or no, sorry, Thursday. So they start back up on Friday, the holy shit, um,
Twenty
28th.
seventh.
No, I don't know.
I think it's
Probably the
27th.
27th. Yeah, you're right. But either way, yeah. So gonna be pretty light next week if we do end up doing that recording. If not, hope you have a great holiday in the midst. There's no such
For
treatment on
sure.
the New Year's Day slash Eve, so it's kind of a weird thing. But I guess a lot of people like to have something to do while there is New Year's uh, happening. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I bet the Stars are gonna lose every game because they suck.
They actually won't. I'll tell you about it. But I have to go back to last week where we immediately, our first game after the podcast, got destroyed by the Nashville Predators. And I
Pretty
mean,
good, dog.
damn destroyed. Awful. To like, I think Nashville has the worst record in the NHL.
They don't
For
even
sure,
have
worse in
double
our
digit
division.
wins, dog.
Yeah, that's atrocious. There's no excuse. I heard I listened to a podcast, DLLS podcast. They were talking about how it just seemed like the Stars did not come to play. Like they went through the motions, expected that everyone's beating them, so we're just gonna go ahead and roll over them as well. And that was not the case. Nashville absolutely balled out, controlled every aspect of the game, and we lose that one
Yeah,
4-1.
Marchessault actually gave himself a reason to be signed to the Nashville Predators by getting 2 points with two
Dog,
assists.
it was
But
genuinely an atrocious performance. We follow that up though. That was last Thursday. On Saturday, we go ahead and host the Blues. Your favorite head coach, Jim Montgomery, comes to town,
it's
and
not
there
my
was no
favorite head
revenge
coach.
game. And I had said it last week. This ain't
It
gonna be
went
a
to
revenge
overtime.
tour.
They got a
But I said
point
it
out of
wasn't
it.
gonna be. It ain't revenge. You lost. Get out
I
of here,
didn't say
loser.
anything.
Go back home with that L.
Okay, they still got a point.
There was a big L in that Blues logo. We put that right behind that B because
Yeah,
they
it's
some
St.
B's.
Louis, from
Uh,
Louis.
oh, I was more looking at the Blues, but same thing, I guess. They got two L's. Anyway, they come to town.
Nice
It
touch.
does go to OT, like you mentioned, and it's Matt Duchene who clutched it up with the game winner.
What a touche.
He Dude, Duchene's that guy. He's on like kind of a
He
break.
is
There's a
that guy,
defender
I
coming
guess.
behind or to his left a little bit, dangles the puck, so the defender can't reach it, and then scoops it right by the goalie. Just a beautiful goal, beautiful execution. So it's good to see Duchene get on the board again. I know that when Sagan got hurt, the lines had to shift a little bit, and I was a little worried that Sagan and Duchene had looked spectacular this year, so I was afraid that Duchene's performance would, go down a bit. But that right now it's looking pretty solid, and yeah, gets a game winner against old Jim Montgomery. But then we go ahead and
Good old
host
Jimmy.
the Capitals last night. That one I was nervous for. I had projected, I believe I said 2-1, with the only loss being to the Capitals. The only loss was to the Predators because we go ahead and take care of business against the Capitals last night.
Okay.
Capitals jump out to the early lead.
Took
They're
care
up
of
one
business against the
zero.
Predators.
Yeah, well, anyway. We go ahead and get two in the second and an empty netter at the end. I believe it was an empty netter. I think was it an empty netter? I
Probably
don't.
wasn't, dog.
The third goal, I'm kind of blanking, if I'm being honest.
It's okay,
But
bro.
Rope gets on the board with a goal. Bischel scores his second goal in 3 games. Leon Bischel, and I don't think either was intentional. For sure, last night's wasn't. He kind of shoots it in, kind of passes it in. I don't think it was a shot because it was just way off net. But there's a defender standing there. It hits him, and then it deflects into the net. So, I mean, I'll take that good fortune. Leon Bischel, as a defender, man, that's 2 goals in 3 games since his debut. And I really like I like the
Dirty.
physicality that he brings. Right
Too
now,
dirty. He slashed a guy.
in the first game, that was a trash call. That was a trash call.
Slashed him, dog. There's
Nah,
like a
nah, nah.
whole thing on his neck. You don't see that.
Oh, you're
I
talking
think you
about.
tweet about it. He like actually slashed a dude.
I thought
It
you
was
were talking
probably by
about
accident, but
the
he
penalty
still
he had on his debut, like 2 minutes into the game against Nashville.
could be. Could
It
be,
was
dog.
not, but I think it was. Dang, I forgot the call, but it was dumb. Anyway, it wasn't a penalty. Leon Bischel, though, bringing some nice physicality in front of the net. One thing I was worried about with the Caps in their first game, the Caps score their goals by getting in the way of the goalie's vision, blocking out that crease, and they're getting a lot of tip-in goals. They're just doing a lot of their strategy is scoring in front of, like, blocking the goalie's vision, tipping, and all that good stuff. But Bischel, big boy, not allowing that, hitting everyone he can. So I like to see that, especially from a guy who was drafted last year, or was it 2 years ago? Regardless, he's looking good.
It's probably
So I'm
3 years
liking
ago.
what Leon. And I will say too, there's a lot of players on the roster right now. There's a bug going around. They're a little sick, so we're missing a few folks. But the team picked it up against a tough Washington team. Washington, mind you, Keaton, 10 straight road wins coming into this. 10 straight. This is a really quality
Yeah.
team. And so knowing that
Are
you're
they?
banged up, knowing that you're sick, you come to play, get the dub. It's just a really good performance from the Stars. Their power plays picked it up a little bit as well. So that's good to see. Going forward, The next week's games for the Dallas Stars, we've got the Maple Leafs tomorrow. I'll be honest, man, the Maple Leafs can be a tough one. I'm a little worried about that. Um, we drop random games I don't expect us to. I'll say the Maple Leafs win tomorrow night. Then we play host to the New York Rangers. I don't believe in the Rangers, so I'll say we win that one. Next Monday, we've got the Utah Hockey Club. Worst team name in all of sports. That'll be on the road in old
Maybe they'll
Utah.
change it
And
next season.
I'll say we get the dub there. So 2-1 projection for this upcoming week.
Pretty good, dog.
Yes,
Like me,
sir.
zero
Now
and three.
we tend to do some weekly pick'ems, Keaton, and they're against the spread. Before I say, do you know how you did? Just throw out a guess.
I think it was 1-1, dog.
For you,
Picked
that
two
is
games.
incorrect. I went 1-1. You went 0-2. So not a good day for you as you drop to 18-18. You're 500, and I'm one game behind you on the season at 17-19. So making some steady gains there. Now, tonight's games, the ones we'll be picking, there are a ton. We have 10 games. Yeah, 10 games. Jesus Christ. We'll start with the Sabres in Montreal, Keaton. The spread in that one is Montreal plus 1.5. Who are you picking there?
I'm probably gonna pick the Canadians in this one.
Canadians plus 1.5.
Yeah, dog.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Sabres because you're just wrong in general, so I can't go with you. And my pen's not working, which is super nice. Let's see, Buffalo Sabres minus 1.5. Keaton, next game, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets traveling to Tampa to take on the Lightning. The spread in that one is Blue Jackets plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
Probably the Lightning, because Point and Kucherov know what they're doing.
Yep, I too will take the Lightning. Then there's the Kings and the Penguins in Pittsburgh. Spread in that one is Pittsburgh plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm probably gonna take the Kings. They'll probably outshoot the Penguins pretty heavily.
All right. I hate to do it, but I agree with you. I'm also taking the Kings there, minus 1.5. The Islanders are traveling to Carolina, taking on the Hurricanes. Spreading that one is Hurricanes minus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm taking the Hurricanes.
Yep, that makes sense. I will not make an argument for the Islanders because I don't believe in them. I will go with the Hurricanes as well. Next game, we got the Devils and your favorite team, your second favorite team, the St. Louis Blues. That will be taking place in St.
Favorite team.
Louis. Spread in that one is Blues plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm gonna take the Blues.
Ugh.
The Devils have shown pretty mediocre play. Just gonna say that. But yeah, they'll win here and there. But they've played a lot of games.
Um. Yeah. I'll go ahead and say the Devils stay within. Oh, what? The Devils are minus 1.5.
Nice.
Dang. I think the Devils will end up winning, but only by one goal. So I have to take the St. Louis Blues plus 1.5 goals. Moving on, we got the New York Rangers traveling to Nashville to take on the Predators. Spread in that one is Predators minus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
Bro, I'm taking the Rangers. I think it goes without saying, but the Predators don't even have double digit wins. And even though the Rangers have been down a lot, but they end up winning.
That actually won't be the case because the Predators will win by 2 goals and go ahead and give me another dub over you. I'm taking the Preds.
Okay, well,
The Washington Capitals are traveling to Chicago, taking on the Blackhawks. It is Blackhawks plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I like the Capitals.
You like them, so you're going to take them?
Yeah,
I have to agree with you. Capitals minus 1.5. Moving on, we got the Boston Bruins taking on the Calgary Flames in Calgary. Spreading that one is Calgary plus 1.5. Who are you taking?
the Flames. They've both
Flames.
been big question marks along the season. But yeah, I'm taking the home team,
Well,
even if they lose by one.
they're actually going to lose by 2, as I'm going with the Boston Bruins. Minus 1.5
You're gonna
there.
get Bruined with that pick.
No, you're going to get flamed with your pick. Two
All
more games to go. The Ottawa Senators are traveling to Seattle, taking on the Kraken. Spreading that one is Kraken plus 1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm taking the Kraken. Senators have been pretty awful, and much like the Canadians and Predators and Blackhawks, they're at the lower part of the league.
Yeah, I am following suit and taking the Kraken as well.
I would
Lastly,
follow suit.
the Winnipeg Jets are traveling to San Jose to take on the Sharks. The spread in that one is Sharks plus 1.5. Who you got there?
I'm rolling with San Jose in this
No, you're not. That's a lie.
one. I am. It's
Oh my
I like the
god.
Sharks to hold up an OT or a close loss.
Oh
With Macklin
no.
Celebrini and Eklund, they're gonna get a goal apiece.
This man is a
And
fool.
yeah, they've shown some great silver lining.
Have
And
they?
I yeah, they have. They've shown some metal here and there. They know what they're doing. And
Some metal. Good
yeah,
God.
I'm
Okay.
I'm rolling with San Jose. I mean, they don't have to go to Shittapeg, so you know
Well, I'm going Winnipeg there, so I'll go ahead.
you
And
would.
this week, I will take the lead over you. So, hey, you held it for a
I
little
doubt it.
bit, Keaton, but going into 2025,
I
I just
doubt
got to
it,
do it to
dog.
you. Just
I
got to
doubt
do it
it.
to you. Lastly, Keaton, we always do some prize pick bets. And nothing new as last week we came up
I was one
short.
shot off goal, man.
Uh,
It was not fun.
dude,
Adam Fox held up his deal, but I cannot believe that Tory Terry could not get that third shot.
our New York
Like what
Rangers
the
came through. I mean, I
what?
had Trocheck on faceoff wins, and he killed it. He went way over. Like, he covered big time.
He's a solid
And
player.
damn, Paterka had to get a point, man. Like, you've got to be kidding
I
me.
I mean, usually whenever you go the under, he's just gonna get like 7 points, and you're just
It's
like,
ridiculous. It's That's the second
what can
time
I
this
do?
year I've taken an under on points and they went over. And then also earlier this year I had Draisaitl over a point and he went under. And apparently
Yeah,
I didn't learn my
I mean,
lesson because going into this
Tory
week,
Terry had 0 shots on goal like near the end of the second period, if not at the end. I mean, like he's an integral part of that team. I don't know what was going on, and then he ends up getting two in the last period. Why couldn't he get two in each?
yeah,
Like come on.
no, 100%. But as I was about to allude to, I have not learned my lesson. I went ahead and threw another point bet on my bet this week. I went ahead and
Nice.
said, Kirill, let me try to get that name right. Marchenko?
You don't know
I think that's how you say it. I took his
Marchenko.
over on, yeah, Kirill Marchenko, over 2.5 shots on goal. And then I took Kyle Connor over a half point, so 1 point at least. And all right, Keaton, I've said it before, but this is the week. I'm getting it done. I don't know about you, but I'm getting it done.
I definitely am getting it done with Braden Point getting at least 3 shots on goal with the over on 2.5, and Beck Malenstein, I believe is how you pronounce it, with 2.5 on the overhits. I think he's going to get like five. He's going to play some good old smash mouth hockey and
Mm.
play pretty well. I just can't see it.
You can't see it happening.
Can't see it going
Can't
wrong.
see it failing. I can because it's the only thing that's occurred for us is just our bets failing. Again, absolutely
I'm gonna
not
pull for you
financial
on this.
advice. In fact, if you want genuine financial advice, just take the opposite of what we pick. You would be killing it right now.
Maybe not necessarily the absolute opposite, but
That's fair. We do
make a
get at
better
least one
educated
good one.
guess than us.
That's fair. That's fair. Keaton, I think that's all we got for this week's episode. Anything we're forgetting?
I think that should be it.
All right.
Short
Well,
week
hey,
this week.
peace out, man. Merry Christmas, y'all.